Deep within the Likuala swamp region of the Republic of the Congo lies one of the most impenetrable environments on Earth, spanning thousands of square miles of dense jungle and murky waterways. It is a place where time seems to have stood still. Local pygmy tribes have long spoken of a creature that haunts these waters, a beast they call Mokele-Mbembe, the one who stops the flow of rivers. In 1776, a French missionary named Abbé Levain Proyert described seeing massive, clawed footprints in the jungle mud, each nearly 3 feet in diameter. He noted that the creature must have been gargantuan, yet it left no trail of broken trees, suggesting it moved primarily through the deep river channels. These early accounts sparked a centuries-long fascination with the African interior. In 1909, famed naturalist Carl Hagenbeck wrote that locals described a creature half-elephant, half-dragon. When shown sketches of dinosaurs, the witnesses pointed to the Apatosaurus. The theory emerged: could a small population of sauropods have survived the great extinction within the stable, unchanging environment of the Congo Basin? The living fossil became a global sensation. Mokele-Mbembe is consistently described as being the size of an elephant, but with a long, flexible neck and a muscular tail. Its skin is said to be brownish-gray and smooth, lacking scales. Some witnesses claim it has a single tooth or horn on its head. It is semi-aquatic, spending the daylight hours submerged in the deep bends of the Ubangi and Sangha rivers to avoid the equatorial heat. Unlike many mythical monsters, Mokele-Mbembe is not a predator. It is described as an herbivore, particularly fond of the Malambo plant's chocolate-flavored fruit. However, it is intensely territorial. Local legends warn that it will attack hippos and overturn canoes that enter its domain. It doesn't eat its victims. It simply crushes them to protect its secluded nesting grounds. Captain Freiherr von Stein-Zulausnitz was sent by the German government to survey the Cameroon-Congo border. He returned with detailed reports of a creature that did not fit any known species. He described a beast that dwelt in the clay caves of the riverbanks. His official report remains one of the most credible documents cited by those who believe the creature is a physical reality. In 1932, famous biologist Ivan T. Sanderson was paddling down the Mainyu River when something massive broke the surface near his boat. He described a huge, dark head on a thick neck that plunged back into the water, creating a wake that nearly capsized his vessel. Sanderson, a trained scientist, was convinced he had seen something that defied modern biological classification. In the 1970s, herpetologist James Powell traveled to the Congo. He interviewed numerous witnesses who independently described the same creature. He managed to take photographs of large, unidentified tracks and heard strange, booming vocalizations at night. While not definitive, his work revitalized interest in the Mokele-Mbembe, leading to a new era of scientific expeditions. Dr. Roy Mackal, a biologist from the University of Chicago, led 2 major expeditions in the early 1980s. He braved malaria, civil unrest, and the brutal terrain of the Likuala swamps. While he never saw the beast directly, he collected high-quality anecdotal evidence and found paths through the swamp grass that were too large for elephants. He became the face of the modern search. In 1987, a Japanese film crew flying over Lake Tele captured several seconds of grainy footage. It showed a long-necked shape swimming across the water, creating a significant wake. Skeptics argued it was a swimming elephant or a group of crocodiles, but for many cryptozoologists, it was the first visual proof that something massive was living in the isolated lake. Lake Tele is the epicenter of Mokele-Mbembe sightings. It is a shallow, circular lake surrounded by miles of swamp. Local legend says that in 1959, pygmies killed a Mokele-Mbembe near the lake after it interfered with their fishing. They reportedly tried to eat its meat, but everyone who did so allegedly died shortly after. To the locals, the creature is as much a spirit as it is an animal. Skeptics suggest that Mokele-Mbembe might be a misidentified or relic population of the black rhinoceros. A rhino swimming with its head above water could resemble a long-necked creature. However, rhinos are not typically found in the deep swamps of the Congo, and the physical descriptions of the tail and the lack of a prominent horn on the nose don't quite align with the local accounts. Another theory posits that the creature is an oversized species of monitor lizard or a giant soft-shelled turtle. Some monitors can grow to significant lengths, and their long necks might look dinosaur-like to a panicked observer. Yet even the largest monitor lizard would struggle to match the sheer bulk and elephant-like footprint reported by generations of witnesses. Anthropologists argue that Mokele-Mbembe is a cultural creature, a manifestation of the jungle's power and mystery. For the tribes of the Congo, the beast represents the untamable nature of their home. Whether it exists physically or not, it serves a role in their oral history, warning people of the dangers of the deep rivers and the need to respect the spirits of the wild. Searching for Mokele-Mbembe is a logistical nightmare. The Likiwala region is plagued by political instability, venomous snakes, and the Ebola virus. The dense canopy makes aerial surveillance nearly impossible, and the murky water hides everything beneath the surface. Many expeditions fail not because the creature isn't there, but because the jungle is simply too good at hiding it. In the 21st century, explorers have used satellite imagery and underwater sonar to scan the Congo's depths. While these tools have mapped the underwater caves and deep trenches where the creature might hide, they have yet to produce a smoking gun. The Mokele-Mbembe remains a ghost in the machine, a pixelated shape on a screen that disappears upon closer inspection. The Mokele-Mbembe has become a staple of pop culture, appearing in books, movies, and TV shows like Destination Truth. It represents the last great mystery of the Victorian Lost World era. For many, the hope that a dinosaur still walks the earth is a powerful antidote to a world that feels increasingly small, mapped, and stripped of its ancient primal wonder. The Congo Basin is under threat from logging and poaching. If Mokele-Mbembe does exist, its habitat is shrinking every year. Conservationists argue that protecting the Likiwala swamps is vital, regardless of whether a prehistoric beast lives there. By saving the home of the dinosaur, we save thousands of other known species that are critical to the planet's ecological health. Most mainstream biologists remain unconvinced. They point to the breeding population problem. For a species to survive for 65 million years, there would need to be hundreds of individuals, making them much easier to find. Without a bone, a tooth, or a clear DNA sample, Mokele-Mbembe remains in the realm of mythology, a beautiful, terrifying dream of a world that once was. As long as there are blank spots on the map, people will look for Mokele-Mbembe. The creature is more than just a potential animal. It is a symbol of the unknown. In the heart of the Congo, where the water is dark and the trees are tall, the legend lives on. The next bend in the river might finally reveal the long neck and the massive tail, closing the door on one of history's greatest mysteries.